Okay, yeah, so my name is Phophi Khandela. I grew up in South Africa, born and raised South Africa. I moved to the UK when I was 14. Typical, I don't want to say typical, but I kind of grew up in the performing arts kind of background, studying theatre, musical theatre, went on to uni, studied drama. I graduated and then started doing just like office jobs, and I just felt really disconnected with what I was doing, and I decided to really kind of reconnect with my first love, and that's anything creative, anything performance-based, and more importantly, that is based in my culture. And I wanted to really find something that can celebrate Southern African or African creatives. I initially wanted to do a blog, but I ended up having an amazing radio show, which is called Top of the Culture, hosted on Tribe Urban, and it focuses on everything Southern African. So we celebrate anyone in the diaspora, or even who is based back home from Southern Africa. My friend actually, because she knew I was like trying to put together a blog, and because I wasn't even on social media at the time, and they reached out to her because like she's South African and she's kind of well known in the scene, and they were like, hey, would you be interested in hosting a Southern African show? And she was like, no, but I know someone who would. So yeah. When I went back to South Africa for a holiday, it was like a really extended holiday. It was a career break that I took from work. I noticed how much was happening in the creative scene. There was so much innovation, so much creativity, which I didn't have access to as a South African person based in the UK. And I just saw a gap. And I was like, how do you make it happen, like us having access to what's happening there and vice versa? So it was just a process of figuring out how to connect the two worlds. I mean, there's so much to it. There's so much layers to it because as a consumer or as an audience member, what you see is the finished product, and you don't always appreciate the process it takes to create the product. So it's just for me learning how to build a team, how to build content, how to connect with people. It's just it's a whole process. I'm still learning. So yeah. You know what, it's pretty hard because I think I'm a person that's like really mindful. You know, when I know like either my mom's gonna be listening or my dad, I'm just like, okay, I need to not say this, I need to not talk about this. So I think I'm pretty censored for the time being, but I want to get to the place where I'm not so censored, but I do represent myself or the real me as much as possible. So I do a segment on the show called Group Chat, and I just really talk about topics or scenarios that are close to my heart or close to my experience, or something that I, think is important to discuss as a community, as a people. And then I get the insights of my co-hosts and usually engage with the people listening to get their insights or their takes on that certain topic. So we've talked about gender-based violence in Southern Africa, which is something I'm very passionate about. Yeah, that's something that is going to be a forever evolving discussion. We talk about stuff like what we personally define as success, handling rejection. We talk about relationships, finding the right person, how to know someone's the right person, friendships, so it can be any area of life. It's pretty diverse. When I was in uni, I was doing my dissertation, and I actually just was reading a lot because I was trying to find a topic, and I was just reading a lot about in terms of the stats and the cases going on in South Africa with the women being killed, with the women being abused and raped, and it just really triggered me or really connected to me because I remember growing up in South Africa and seeing those kinds of things reported daily in the news, and me feeling quite fearful as a young Black girl growing up in South Africa. So it kind of triggered those memories, but because I was so detached from that kind of world, living in the UK. I just want them to see someone who hasn't had the traditional trajectory in a creative career, because I had a later start in terms of like, because I fell off, went into the typical 9 to 5 and then getting back into it. So I wanted them to see someone who is not the stereotypical cookie cutter model of what a successful career in entertainment is, but someone who's probably had to do different routes and got there eventually. Someone inspirational, someone confident, just someone who knows who they are and honors their heritage, their culture. So yeah. I think there's 1,000% places for that, because I've seen plays in the National Theatre which have literally traveled from South Africa to the UK. And there's a lot of things like, for example, I know it's not a UK thing, but Black Panther was referenced a lot of Southern African culture in the movie. So, and there's obviously Amapiano, which is going pretty global, and you have Jerusalem, which is a global hit in so many countries. So I know that our culture is very, I don't want to say consumable, but it's very accessible, and a lot of people can relate to what we do and what we have as a culture. I think what the gap has been is just that we've not really cultivated the different areas that our culture has traveled to, and where we are as communities, we've not really, kind of come together and really made it a thing. It's always like, oh, this is South African, this is South African, so it's kind of like here and there, sometime-ish kind of thing. You know what? I think what we're currently doing, my team and I, of the culture, we're just trying to, it's a radio show, but we're really trying to make it kind of like a creative cultural hub where people know that, okay, if I'm in London, but I'm from South Africa, I know where to go to cover the culture, tune in, listen, holler at these people. So just hopefully expand from there to see what that can, what doors they can open. Yeah. The most discouraging things is always external. First and foremost, as a woman, you're always going to be judged, unfortunately, by your looks, and then everything else you do is secondary. So I think that's been the main thing. I do not have the stereotypical look that the industry wants. But it's just, you have to have the confidence in your talent, in what you know how to do to persevere through those closed doors. And then sometimes, if you do have the look, you don't want to be just looked at just as a look. You want to be seen as the creative or intelligent person and the skills that you bring to the table. The most important thing you can cultivate for yourself as a business person, as a creative, anything that you're trying to do in life, you just have to be the best. You have to make sure you know your stuff. You need to make sure that you have the latest knowledge. You try to be the best of the best, really, because no one can take that away from you if you're in demand. Even if you look the part, don't look the part, sound the part, don't sound the part, they can't deny your talent and what you bring to the table. Honestly, I have to say my relationship with God, because I do believe that God put a certain vision for my life in my heart. So even when I feel like giving up, there's always someone, family, friend, that will remind me, like, no, this is where you're meant to be, this is what you're meant to be doing. And they'll encourage me, even when I'm like, I can't do this anymore, I don't want to do it. There's always someone, friend, family, even in prayer, there's always someone there just to remind me why I'm doing what I'm doing, to keep like encouraging me to keep going. I have loads of special people in my life, but if you mean like romantically, no. Why not? I'm on the bench right now. I'm taking the time out to be like just chopping life as a single person, solo trips, solo holidays, all that good stuff. I think I was looking for validation in being in a relationship. Even when it wasn't right, I was just like, okay, I'm dating someone, tick. But now I'm just like, no, how about just having validation in yourself, regardless whether people think you're dating someone or not, just like living your life and having validation in yourself because you are you. You are just you the ish, you know, I'm that, and it's cool. Oh, that's such a good question. You know what? I've got a lot of projects in the works. I'm post production on a documentary, which hopefully would drop soon. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, I've got that. Obviously, expanding the culture brand, expanding Tribe Urban brand. What else? Yeah, I think those are the two main things. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Yeah, those are the two main things for now. I think Sampa the Great, she's doing amazing. I forgot she's Tanzanian. I think she's Tanzanian. Sorry, girl. Let me not say which country she's from. Sampa the Great. She's Southern African. She's amazing. She's a rapper. Really dope. I love Ricky Rick. He's got a really dope track out right now. Obviously, Valley Music. That's my friend. She's doing amazing with her latest single. I'm gonna be a bit like biased. I'm also gonna say Charlie because he's featured on her song Charlie K Music. I think he's really dope as a producer, as an artist. You've got EXO, the rapper. You've got Xavier, even though I call him Xavier and he never corrects me. He's pretty dope as well. He's doing amazing. You've got the DJs as well holding it down. You've got DJ Kinda Cool. You've got Mixolis, DJ Dinelle, who's a female DJ. So shout out to her. So yeah, there's a lot of, was it just musicians or creatives, or I think I went off on a tangent there. Listen to Double the Culture on Tribe Urban Radio every Tuesday from 8 till 11. What else I got going on? Make sure you follow me on social media, PHOPS_KHN, that's Pops_Khan. That's on all social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. So yeah.